Okay, so let's talk about AMC Theatres. Right now, it feels like the nation's biggest movie chain is kind of living a double life. And in this explainer, we're going to dig into the two very different stories that are defining its brand. One that's playing out in the spotlight, and another one that's happening deep in the shadows. I mean, on the surface, you'd think AMC is having an absolutely incredible year. It really looks like a blockbuster season for the company, right? They're smack in the middle of this massive pop culture moment, just riding this huge wave of excitement.
But is it really? See, behind all the glitz and glamour of premieres and pop stars, there's a totally different story unfolding. And this one involves a longtime employee and, believe it or not, a federal investigation. Okay, let's start with a story that everyone's seeing first.
All right, first up, a blockbuster partnership. This is all about riding the wave of a pop culture phenomenon. And yeah, this is the story that everyone is talking about. We're talking about AMC's massive collaboration with superstar Taylor Swift. You know, the glamorous public-facing side of things. So this is timed perfectly with her 12th studio album. AMC is throwing this huge exclusive release party. They're literally transforming their theaters into these nationwide hubs for what is, let's be honest, one of the most anticipated music events of the year. We're talking a full-blown fan experience here, with everything from video premieres to exclusive behind-the-scenes footage.
And get this, the whole theme is luxury and a high-gloss finish. It's all designed to give fans this super premium experience. And this is just a brilliant example of how AMC is plugging directly into a major cultural moment. The entire thing is meant to feel high-end, putting the theater chain right at the heart of all that fan excitement.
Okay, so that's one story. But while all that luxury and celebration is happening out in the open, there's another story, a much quieter one, unfolding in the shadows. And believe me, it paints a starkly different picture of the company.
So, what's going on? Well, the EEOC, that's the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, the federal agency that enforces workplace discrimination laws, they've actually filed a lawsuit against AMC. And the main allegation here is a really serious one, that the company illegally discriminated against an employee with a disability. We're talking a direct violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA.
Now, we're diving into the allegations of discrimination, and this is really the story of a 22-year veteran employee. You know, this lawsuit isn't about some abstract corporate policy on a piece of paper. No, this centers on the very specific, very personal experience of one longtime employee, a man named Mark Gillis.
Yeah, look at that number, 22 years. That is how long Mark Gillis, an employee who has cerebral palsy, had worked for AMC. I mean, think about that. For more than 2 decades, he was there scanning tickets, helping out customers. He was a fixture at his local theater.
But according to the EEOC's complaint, everything changed for him under a new manager. The lawsuit alleges that this new manager didn't just cut his hours, but also verbally harassed him, specifically because of his disability. And it goes further. The lawsuit claims that Gillis was denied simple, reasonable accommodations that he'd actually had before. We're talking about things like a ticket scanner with a strap or a movie list in large print. And let's be clear, these aren't special favors. These were basic tools that were pretty essential for him to do his job well. So the suit alleges that these weren't just one-off incidents. It all builds up to the manager eventually just completely stopping, putting Gillis on the work schedule. And just like that, the career of a 2-decade veteran was effectively over. So here we are with AMC's two competing stories. This is really about how public triumph and internal conflict can shape a brand's image. Because now you've got these two totally conflicting narratives defining AMC for everyone to see. One's a story of cultural celebration, and the other is a story of alleged exclusion. I mean, it's just wild when you put it side by side. On one hand, you have AMC, the glamorous host of a massive pop culture event, creating this luxurious experience for fans of a global superstar. And then, on the other hand, the company stands accused by a federal agency of breaking federal law and discriminating against a long-serving employee with a disability. It's a lot to take in. In this contrast, it really just raises a huge question, doesn't it? When a company's public image and its alleged private actions are this different, which one actually tells the real story? And maybe more importantly, as moviegoers and consumers, which story do we end up believing? It really makes you think.